Hi, everybody. I love that I go live every week. And today it was just like my brain said, I don't know how to do this. What do you do now? What is this? Okay. Let's get started. It's Monday, y'all. Hi. Danielle. Nice to see you. I'm trying to get my life together. Like I said, Mondays fly around so quickly, and I'm not prepared today, but I'm gonna get prepared. I got this. Today we are talking about retirement, which is super, super important. And I can't wait to get into this because there are so many people that are not focused on their retirement. See, look at me. I'm pressing the end button. Y'all gonna have to bear with me today. I'm gonna get through this. Okay, so retirement. Super important because, to my knowledge, there are no loans, no grants, no nothing that you can get to help you with retirement. Student loans, you can send somebody to college. They can get loans. We don't want them to. An auto loan is available. A personal loan is available, but you can't do that to retire. So retirement is something that you should focus on. Retirement is something that should take precedence. So I know you guys hear me talking about saving for my daughter and her future, but best believe I have to put my own oxygen mask on first, which means I have to save for retirement first. Before she can get any money, I got to take care of me. So my retirement accounts are really what spurred on my own my business. And I forgot because we're doing this kind of backwards. Hey, Rashana, welcome to Money Monday. I'm Jayla. I'm your wealth best friend, somebody that you can count on to speak to you in your best interest, to try and give you advice that only applies to you. There's no cookie cutter advice. Most of my clients I work one-on-one with, and I come here on Mondays to just kind of talk to everybody, give you somebody to bounce ideas off of, and just, give you access to an attorney and a certified financial advisor. So welcome to Money Monday, guys. We're talking about retirement and why it is super important that you understand what's going on with your retirement accounts or even have a retirement account. I want you to be hands-on with these accounts. I know a lot of people, I work with a lot of six-figure earners, and they're just like, oh, I have an investment manager for that. I have a financial advisor for that. That's great. I'm glad you're at that level. But what are they doing? How are you monitoring them? Because if they bring you an account statement that says you've lost $40,000, that's on you. That's not on them. Having an advisor is only helpful if you trust them, if you know what they're doing, if you can explain what they're doing. I mean, what happens if they pass away unexpectedly? Then what? Do you know where your accounts are, how they're doing, what you need to do, what type of investing you're doing? So even if you have an advisor, you still need to know what's going on to your accounts. You still need to pay attention to the statements that you get. Hi, everybody. And it is super, super important because this is your future. Your retirement account is your future. You can start right now and figure out, I like to say, how much does your life cost, but really, how much are your expenses yearly? You can break it down by month and then multiply that by 12. Like if you have $5,000 of expenses monthly, and you want to have this same life when you retire, you're going to have enough in your retirement account to be able to take $5,000 a month. And you're actually going to have to adjust that for inflation because inflation, things are not going to cost the same today as they do when you retire. You also need to decide when you're going to retire. Some of us don't subscribe to the United States of America saying that you should be retiring at 65 or 70. Some of us want to retire early and still have some fight in us, some kick in us, and not be super exhausted after dealing with these employers. So if that's you, you really got to get on retirement and thinking about it and planning for it and saving for it and investing in it. So I say this because I want you to have financial fluency when it comes to retirement and your retirement accounts. I say this from my own personal experience. I know I started off on my own financial showing you guys. I was triggered when I looked at my retirement account and it was at negative 15%. And I'm like, the stock market, I think, is doing okay. Why is my account down? And it pressured me to start digging in, figuring out what to do, what's going on. And that's really how I learned a lot about the stock market. My retirement account, it's a closed environment set by your employer usually, and you can only invest in certain things, so you can learn about what you're allowed to invest in. And I found out mine was in my employer's stock. That's why it wasn't doing very well. And my employer was going through a major scandal. Well, duh. Switched out of that. This year, 2020, my account returned 47%. So I went from 15% a few years ago to a 47% return on just that account. That same account that I haven't put any money into, not contributing to. I don't even work for that employer anymore. 47%. In the last 3 years, that account has returned at least 25%. And all it took was me paying attention and learning. Now I can turn over that account to somebody else, but I'm still going to need to look at those statements and say, okay, I know what I was doing when I had this account and I was managing it myself. Are you worth what I'm paying you? Because you are paying people to manage your investments. And I have a lot of clients that ask me how their investment advisors, their insurance advisors are getting paid, which is wild to me that so many people hand over their accounts and don't know the fees. Anytime somebody's doing something for you, they are charging you, which is why I like clear-cut, open, transparent fees. Which is, it's hard for somebody. They're like, you charge what? Yeah, imagine what you're saving. Not dealing with somebody who's making 1% or 2% on everything that they're managing for you. Just saying. So, back to retirement accounts. I actually have a new client, and one of the things that he said to me was, my account did great in 2020. I think I'm up like $30,000. Here's another reason why you have to pay attention to your account. You need to know and have that basic financial fluency. I looked at his accounts, looked at his statements, and I realized why his account went up $30,000, because it did. It wasn't the market. It wasn't what he was invested in. It was his employer match. Which is great. We want matching funds, but that's not your increase. That's not your investment. That's you getting the match. There's a difference. You want that match, which is why I say if you're wanting to learn to start investing, do so in your retirement accounts. Most of the time, there's an employer match. It's free money. Free money. And it's your employer contributing and matching what you contribute. So you have to contribute first. His account, my clients did do okay. There were just some tweaks and things that he needed to understand. So we were able to walk through his account, and I kind of broke it down for him, what each individual fund he was invested in did, how it returned. And for the most part, all of them either performed well or overperformed their benchmarks, except for one. One underperformed their benchmark, And he was willing to swap that out, and he decided what he was going to go with. But it gave him clarity in the future, because now he's going to be able to see, okay, what are the fees on this account? What is my account actually returning? Did it return at least the 17% that the stock market on whole returned? And so I love empowering my clients in that way, because now he knows just because your account went up doesn't mean that it's doing well. And that's what I want you guys to take away from this. Even if your account went up 1%, if the market is going up 17%, you did not do well. There's something wrong. And we want you to know what it is so that you can make that small tweak and get it up there. Because you should at least be tracking. We don't want to beat the market. We just want to track. Hey, OG. How are you? So we're talking about retirement accounts. So let's get into the type of accounts that you're going to see. Because I did have a meeting with somebody who was a little overwhelmed. The best thing to think about when it comes to retirement accounts is knowing you're just trying to figure out whether you want to pay taxes now or you want to pay taxes later. If you want to pay taxes now, you are betting that when you retire, you will be in a higher tax bracket, meaning you will be making and taking in more money. If that is the case, a Roth IRA is a good place to start. And if your employer matches it, definitely put the money in a Roth IRA. Problem with the Roth IRA is they only allow you to put $6,000 in, $7,000 if you're over 50. And then if you're thinking you'll be in a lower tax bracket when you retire, a 401k is a great place to put your money, or 403b, because that's money that's going to help you currently reduce your taxable income. So the money goes in before tax. It gets the matches. It grows. And then when you take it out, that's when you're taxed on it. But hopefully at 65, you're in a lower income bracket and it's not that big of a hit. But in a 401k, you're actually this year allowed to put in $19,500 as your individual contribution. And between you and your employer, you guys can't put in more than $58,000. That's a lot more than $6,000 and $7,000. And for 50 plus year olds in a 401k, you can actually put in an extra $6,500 on top of that $19,500. So figure out if you have access to a 401k or a traditional IRA. Start contributing. If you already have one, start looking at it, figure out what it's invested in, and see how it's doing. Most retirement accounts are going to give you a comparison to the benchmarks, meaning they're going to tell you how the stock market did, they're going to tell you how the bonds market did, and then you compare that to your account. You need help with that? That is something that I offer. It's called a investment account audit. And it's meant to just give you information and empower you to be able to handle this on your own. Because I'm telling you, investing is not hard, at least buying and holding and investing for the long term. It's not tedious. It's not overwhelming. It's not watching the market. It's actually best not to watch the market or commentators or anything. You just watch your account and you know your benchmarks. That's it. That's all. That's all I've got for you guys today. I'm going to double check to see if we have any additional questions, because that was the most prevalent question that I got this week for Money Monday. I'm so glad all of y'all joined. Thank you. I don't see any questions, so we're going to leave it there. I will be around for the rest of the Money Monday if you have any other questions. Don't forget that we have the Box Union California Lawyers Association event, which is a whole week of Vox Union classes for free. Sign up for that. You can see my prior post about it. But it's a class a day. I'm going to try and take them. The next one is later this afternoon. I already took a class, so this might be a 2-a-day. So if I don't make it, don't judge me. But it's so much fun to log in and shadow box and do cardio, and they've got sculpt classes and kickboxing this week. It's going to be amazing, and it's great for mental health. So please join us. Other than that, be around. This week we are talking about estate planning on the post, so be prepared. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for joining. Bye.